Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm Oshrik Vox, and Steven Universe the movie is closer than ever. Less than 2 weeks away from premiere, although an early screening will predate it, thus inducing anxiety for a lot of people who want to dodge spoilers. Nowhere on the internet will be safe. I'm sorry guys, but after Monday, August 26th, it is a free-for-all. And I am terrified. That being said, there's still a lot left up to our imagination for the movie. The characters, the locations, the story. A lot of it is still shrouded in mystery. So I thought it would be cool to condense another list out of the 10 things I want to see most in the film. We did this topic last year, but that was before Change Your Mind even aired. We didn't know what the new villain of the film looked like, what the status quo would be, or even when the movie took place. Now that we have a much better idea, I want to give this another crack, getting more specific while avoiding the label of theory, as these aren't theories. They are desires! That being said, not everything on this list needs to be grounded in the show's reality, although I still want to remain feasible and not just shoot entirely for the moon. If some of these sound crazy, I don't know, sorry. A boy can dream. Although potential spoiler warning in case anything on this list does come to fruition. And I want to start with number 1. The villain doesn't get redeemed. Steven is older, the audience is older. The story needs to mature alongside everyone else. Now, I did a theory on why I think the villain won't be redeemed, but this is less of a theory and pulling from the story to figure out what could happen, and more of just, hey, let's not do Kumbaya this time. Now, I don't want Steven or any of the Crystal Gems to backtrack on their growth and decide to shatter gems. Like, that could entirely invalidate business arc, but there are a number of ways this villain's conclusion can invade holding hands and singing with the cast. She could take herself out, whether if it's getting the last laugh or some bold sacrifice to undo the damage she's brought to the Earth. She could simply be defeated, devoured, and imprisoned on Homeworld, setting an example while also introducing a location for antagonists to be sent until the show wants to use them again, if they do at all. Just avoid repeating story beats over and over with your antagonist. I think having a darker ending for a villain that still leads to Steven and the Crystal Gems having a happy ending is something we haven't really explored before in the show. Every time Steven has abandoned a villain, both the characters and we as an audience don't feel happy afterwards. It's more of this somber, oh, okay, that's kind of depressing. I'd rather see a villain not get a happy ending, but at least a Steven and the Gems coming out as better people because of it. And you may be thinking, well, there's hundreds of other shows, films, and video games you can play where that thing happens. But it wouldn't just be fresh in the context of only Steven Universe, but it would stand out amongst the other series that has done this before because it is Steven Universe, and I'm sure they would have their own Steven flair to go along with it. Number 2, we see more space. From what we can tell in the trailer, the most we'll see of space is the beginning of the film before Steven returns to Earth, aiding Homeworld and its former colonies. However, we also haven't seen much of the film, and it's about 90 minutes long. It's not out of the question that at some point, Steven will flee from the planet. We're not sure about the whereabouts of Pink Diamond's ship, nor if the galaxy warp is restored. Like, did Steven bring the ship back to Earth, or did he leave it on Homeworld? And if he did, how did he get back home? Although again, galaxy warp, that'd probably save Steven a trip. Not only would I love to see Steven return to Homeworld and see more of it, the parts we didn't really get to see up close and personal, but I also want to see more of Homeworld's colonies, or former colonies. Have another space battle like in Lars of the Stars. The show's called Steven Universe, but we barely explore the universe. Now the pieces are in place to pull that off. The episode Jungle Moon really had me walking away hungry for more, and the time for more is now. Number 3, Jasper Appears. Just glancing at the cast list for the film, almost every major character in the series is slated to appear. From the gems we know and love, like the main 4, Bismuth, Peridot, and Lapis, but the diamonds, and even Ruby and Sapphire, so Garnet is probably going to split apart at some point, unless it's the Ruby Squad, which I would also love to see. While I'm hoping that any gem that has had screen time in the past will pop up in this film, whom I really want to see most is Jasper. Again, those who are on the cast list are characters we know are going to sing, so there are a ton of characters that will appear with speaking roles that aren't even in this list. So it's still a mystery if Jasper is in the movie. I already made a theory on her having a bigger role, a complete redemption arc throughout the film, going from rejecting Steven and the Earth to fully embracing the planet and the baggage of Pink Diamond being rose quartz, which would accumulate into her standing up to the villain. But really, any appearance in the movie would satisfy me, even if it's just her making a cameo to leave the door open for season 6. Big Puff Cheeto Puff, I really hope your time is now. I really do. Number 4, Alexandrite has a good fight. Oh, Alexandrite, one of the coolest fusions in the series. How do you avoid figuring out a weapon that includes garnet, amethyst, and pearls? Well, by allowing them to use all the weapons of the gems and their fusions. You can't get much cooler than that. You really can't. I'm sorry, Obsidian. Your sword is not as cool as the idea of going from Amethyst's whip to Garnet's gauntlets to Sardonyx's hammer. Despite this, Alexandrite has been consistently getting snubbed throughout the series. While I love the nature of her first appearance, subverting the audience by introducing this mega fusion for a dinner date, rather than a massive save-the-world conflict, it still meant giving up action, something that became a rare treat in the series. Her battle with Malachite and Super Watermelon Island would have saw her lose if it wasn't for the Watermelon Stevens coming in with a save, allowing Alexandrite to catch an off-guard Malachite and get the upper hand. And while it was a victory, that can be looked at as a bittersweet one. They weren't able to do it on their own. And reunited, Alexandrite was immediately paralyzed and torn apart, being nothing more than a tease to use in commercials to entice viewers, and for the Roundtable to use as clickbait. I don't want that to happen here. We saw the trailer, she's here in the film, and I want her to be at her peak, ready for a good fight, and even if she loses, I want her to lose from something out of her control, rather than her opponent just being stronger than her. Like, yeah, make the villain a dirty, dirty cheater, as long as Alexandrite isn't done dirty by her own accord, because technically Reunited was of her own accord. The gems as Alexandrite aren't strong enough, but Garnet is, which is why she held together. Alexandrite, please! You're still cooler than Obsidian. Number 5, Lars and the Off-Colors have an important contribution to the story. Lars is one of Rebecca Sugar's favorite characters, and mine too. Can't you tell? Do you see how much I forced Lars on this channel? How much I was rooting for him to do something big during Diamond Days? Lars' death and resurrection was planned from the get-go. I believe it was one of the plot lines in their sample episodes in the Pitch Bible. I do know on the Steven Universe podcast they did say it was like originally episode 3. But you may not know that Lars becoming a space pirate was also planned for years. Yet after season 5, I'm not entirely sure why. It never broke them out from sticky situations. We never had a moment where we go, wow Lars, this wouldn't have happened without your arc and new persona. Lars being resurrected and becoming pink was important. I see why they did that. That was an important change to his character, but going the extra step to make him a space pirate, it hasn't paid off yet. He still could have easily stole the ship and returned to Earth without the pirate getup. That being said, he's in the movie, he's gonna sing, and I want him to have a major role. If he still has the Sun Incinerator, him and the Off-Colors could be very important to at least a subplot. I've suggested before helping B-City evacuate to space, as they are organic life. But maybe he could also helm a space fight. I don't know, say Bingo Bongo, do something funny. Just give him something important to do. Number 6, Shivani Appears. This sounds like a no-brainer, while simultaneously being overlooked by fans when it comes to their movie hopes. There's been a 2-year time skip. Steven's older, Connie's older, combine their ages, and Shivani probably has back problems. Okay, not really. Shivani would be 4 years older in appearance, but with Connie's new sword, and Steven potentially having new powers up his sleeve, after all it's a time skip, Shivani's time to shine is now. We need that new sword and shield combo. Kicking butt in a blue star shirt. AJ Machaca isn't on the cast list, but I believe it's either because they want us to forget about Shivani, so their appearance will catch everyone by surprise, or they just don't have a musical number. Any Shivani is greatly appreciated. Number 7, Steven fuses with a human. Shivani is amazing, but it's time for someone new to experience fusion with Steven. Now, I did a theory that it could be Greg, but either way, the ratio of gem to human fusions for the boy is greatly off balance. I know. If Steven fuses with Gem, they get these crazy new powers, they have a quirky Gem name, whereas it seems that Steven will just combine the name with him and whoever he's fusing with. But I think the Gem fusion should be left on the table for season 6 and beyond. Right now, in this movie, if all organic life is in danger, make the organic life important to the story with the human characters, and allow one of them to fuse with Steven. Greg or Lars, please. Oh my god, I need stars already. Number 8, a rap musical number. Steven Universe hasn't really had a rap number yet, aside from Cookie Cat. I have a feeling with this movie being a musical, it will pay homage to all the genres of music Sugar and the crew love. So I feel as if a rap number is almost guaranteed. Also, Chance the Rapper is working on music exclusively for the film. Rap is in his name. I don't know, let the villain rap. She already seems like she's angry, so she can make a solid diss track. Is there really better revenge than that? Number 9, more Change Your Mind fusions. Enough said, I want them. Sunstone, Rainbow, Obsidian. I don't care what they do. I don't care if Steven just grabs Pearl randomly during the film, they fuse and do like a little wacky dance and unfuse, as long as they appear. And finally, number 10, Steven gets an anime transformation. I've speculated on this already, but Steven needs an anime-like transformation. We saw how powerful Steven truly is with Pink Steven, and the idea of him having a Super Saiyan Rose-like transformation where he's able to tap into more of his power, his hair turning pink and getting pink diamond eyes. How could anyone not want that? It'd be a cool little power-up to introduce in the film to be explored later. It would definitely change more to the game, as Steven has something new he can work on and try to get a grasp of. And I mean, come on, imagine Steven on the brink of death, really trying to appease to the villain, and then he's just like, alright, I tried, and he has the Dragon Ball aura, he just, I don't know, he does something Steven-y, but action-y. Just please, transformation, I need it. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want to hear yours. What are your own list of 10 things you want to see in Steven Universe the movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at OffShockFox. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to MikeCatSU for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his amazing art, you can find him on Twitter and Instagram at MikeCatSU, and Tumblr at VintageCatSU. Link in the description. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. OffShockFox, signing out.